Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
That's just my take so far. Maybe that's just me and my dad, you know?
Yeah.
My dad never listened to like the radio in the car. If that, like, whenever he would pick me up, it would be just silent.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, like, I get it now.
Yeah. I don't listen to the radio now in the car. I love it. I love just sit in silence. But I was gonna say
we should probably intro the pod. Go ahead.
Let's do that. No. Let's do that. That's
Oh yeah. I was like, are we?
We're live. We're doing
live.
it now.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Places.
Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us another fantastic guest. You have seen her on Preacher, Get Shorty, and Tales from the Loop. She is everywhere, and she's with us here today. This is Jodi Lynn Thomas. Jodi, how are you doing?
I'm great, actually.
Thank you so
I
much.
don't know why I had to say actually.
Well, I would say that that's okay to say, actually.
You know what? Son of a bitch, I'm all right. You know?
Yeah, it's okay today. I love it.
Don't expect me to be doing good in the future.
Yeah.
But today, actually,
Yeah,
things are
you
fine.
caught me in that sweet 40-minute spot where it's all good.
A Sunday mood, you know?
Mhm.
It's good. It's good.
Absolutely. I will say, Fuck This Place does help me with the Sunday scaries. I don't know if you experience the Sunday scaries, but
Yeah,
we typically record on Sundays, and it's nice.
Oh, okay. Is the Sunday scaries just like the day before the week starts? Is
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I get that the hour before I go to bed, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got
wow, that's nice. I usually get it around 4 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
I mean, I don't anymore because, again, I either have a podcast or a child that is very distracting to me. And I'm just like, well, I made it to the night. That's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
But
I get it an hour before bed, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have to do this again.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I am bad an hour before bed every night.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I didn't conquer the world today. What am I gonna do the next 35 minutes to make up for that?
To make up for that.
I didn't get 6-pack abs this morning. What am I gonna
yeah.
do in the next 25 minutes? You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, great. Nick, were you gonna say something before I wanted to intro the podcast?
I for the life of me, I cannot remember.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
that's all right. That's all good. We press on. It'll come back to me in the middle of a different story at another time.
Yeah,
I'll
or
wake
the
up in
middle
like
of
a fever, like ah.
It was actually super important. It was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make or break this whole podcast.
Jason, you gotta flip that switch, or else we're gonna lose it all. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, they didn't even
wow.
save the episode somehow. Knock on computer, we're fine. Thank you, Zoom, for recording things. Jodi, we should just jump into our first podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
That we do on every first segment. Jesus Christ, that we do on every podcast.
Our
It's a
first
segment that we
podcast.
call, or it's the first podcast that we do on every podcast.
This is
Yes.
the first episode we've ever done with Jodi.
Uh-huh.
That's
the
true.
first one. Mhm.
But on the other episodes where you're not here,
Yes.
we do this thing where we look at jobs and decide if we would work there or not. Your Craigslist jobs in particular. You are
Ooh.
from the Denver area. Is this correct?
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, okay.
But
No,
I lived in Denver for two and a half years. So.
Copy that. That's where our stats are from. So
Okay.
you lived in Denver 2.5 years. Is that correct?
Well, that's correct. You
Oh,
really
hell
did your
yes.
research. Wow,
Tight.
I'm really impressed.
Well, we've pulled up three Denver area Craigslist. Let's just imagine
Great.
you're in that 2.5 years in your life, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
where we're Jodi from that time.
Okay,
And
let's go
We're
back.
browsing Craigslist and we're considering jobs. So I'm going to read
Okay.
the title to 3. You're going to pick one that's on automatic. Fuck this place. Like, I'm not even going to look. That's how
Okay.
fuck this place this is. And then we're going to look at the other 2 and decide if we would work there or not. Does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I stumbled
Okay.
my way through. Okay. Post number 1. The title is Dog Runner / Walker. Innocuous enough.
Okay.
Post number 2 is Bugle / Trumpet player to play call to post. I understood half of that sentence. And then number 3 is, what is your greatest fear?
Wow, that's not a job.
Well, listen, this is on Craigslist and it's under jobs. Okay.
Sir, that is a question.
That's just a question, sir.
And I can answer it.
Or
and
ma'am,
we've done it.
whoever wrote it.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
I'll lean hard towards sir on
Yeah.
that question.
I'd
yeah, when
like
was
to
the last
see
time you
that.
ran into a lady who was likely to ask you, what's your greatest fear? You know?
Me all the time. I just jump at people. What's your greatest fear?
It's the last hour being awake. So,
Yes.
So which one is an automatic? Like, I'm not even going to click on this. The
Okay.
fear, the trumpet, or the dog.
This is pretty easy. I mean,
Mhm.
I have no musical talent whatsoever. So
Okay.
I feel sorry.
It's interesting that you said it was pretty easy, and I was like, okay, so she's definitely not going to say. She's definitely going to say no to your greatest fear.
Yes. Oh yeah. I should start there. No to that. I don't know why you're asking me that question. And
Well, but you're saying definitely not clicking on Bugle. Is that right?
Well, hold on. The what's your greatest fear is kind of.
We're going to read these, by the way. So all the mysteries will be revealed for the two that you do not pick. So
you're like,
saying,
look,
I don't want to
can't
see Bugle. I don't want
to
like anything.
Well, what's your greatest?
I can't
fears?
play the trumpet, but I got a lot of fears. So
I was going to say I'm half and half now. The more I'm thinking about it. What's your greatest fear? Sounds like the start of a horror movie. Scream is my favorite horror movie. So
that's my favorite scary movie as well.
Okay. So
we saying no to the Scream movie?
I don't know. Now I'm half and half. So let's go half and half for that one right now, just because I'm just curious. You got my interest. Let's just say that much. Okay. The musical instrument one don't hire me. Like I'm not gonna. I have no musical talent, and I don't know what. I'm guessing that's the song they're requesting. I don't.
Yeah, you're right. They do want you to play it. So if you can't play it, fine. We'll do it. Okay.
But running and walking with the dog, I do that every day of my life. We're
going to look at that one first then. So we'll just demystify that whole experience. Okay. So post number 1. Before we get to our greatest fear, before someone calls us and then murders us in the first 10 minutes of a feature film.
Yes.
Unprecedented. Anyway, dog runner / walker is the title of the post. And there is a quick like logo picture. And I would say it's pretty, it's kind of what you expect a little bit. It says Denver dog. It says Denver dog joggers.
Yeah.
Dog walking and running. So it seems like, again, jogging might be the emphasis here, especially based on the logo. This dude looks pretty buff.
It's fit inspired. Yeah.
Definitely some fit inspo, and we got a background, a little silhouette of Denver with little mountains in the background. But again, this is what I expect. This is kind of the palette of dog world. Teals, a light, a darkish brown, but not all the way like chestnut.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. Okay, so the post begins, and looks like there's a fair bit of text here.
That's a lot.
So it says, interested runners. So they're really just so far not really following up on the walk. Interested runners must meet the following criteria in order to qualify for an interview. And then there is a motherfucking long list. Live within or at most 5 miles outside our service area. And there's a map. I'm sure it's in Denver. Comfortable with dogs of all sizes, able to handle 2 large dogs at once. That seems important. Be able to run dogs and have a good time.
I'm out.
Don't have a bad time.
Don't have a bad time.
Yeah, I can't do it and have a good time.
Able to run a minimum of 3 miles without stopping. That's no fucking joke. Marathon, triathlon, track team experience, a plus. Like, okay, yeah, no shit. Must currently be able to run at least an 8 to 10 minute mile pace.
Wow.
We're getting into splits, y'all.
They're designing like a person I don't want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Qualified for Boston in your age group. That's not on the list. Sorry. Willing to walk some of our older dogs and younger puppies. That's interesting. That it says
what if I said no? What if I said no? I don't do old dogs, bud. Sorry.
I'm more of a young spring.
Yeah, they stink. Sorry, I'm out.
Oh, here's another one. Must currently be injury free.
Isn't that I don't know.
That seems mean.
Like, yeah. Isn't that a thing? Can't you not do that?
You not say that?
Yeah. No losers.
Yeah. Isn't that illegal? I don't know.
That's got to be illegal. A weather resilient, and then it lists the weather that's in Denver. Snow, rain, 0 degree Fahrenheit, summer, exercise in 10 degree Fahrenheit to 9 degree Fahrenheit, etc.
Must be as tough as a windbreaker.
I was going to say tough as nails. I mean, 0 degrees. I know that Denver gets that cold, obviously. But anyway, hold U.S. citizenship or legal working documents, able to commit to at least 2 days, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2, 8 to 11. I'm trying to go fast through this because it looks like, we're coming to the end. Have a reliable vehicle and be willing to drive to clients. Own a smartphone with a data plan. Must be able to run, walk, jump, grasp, and lift arms above shoulder height. This is a Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
Estimated compensation per session, and then they give you some like what appear to be like $16 per 2 to 2.5 mile running session, $22 per 4 to 4.5 mile running session, $28 per 6 to 7 mile running session.
Wow.
That doesn't seem like enough money.
No.
For 7 miles,
very low
on
pay.
the reg, like on the regular. Anyway, plus tips. Okay. Plus federal rate mile vehicle travel reimbursement. All right. Well, that's not nothing. uniform upgrade compensation, running shoes, pants, shorts, gloves, etc. Please
That's okay.
do.
The federal mile, the reimbursement, you're only living within 5 miles from them. So that's not going to be.
Yeah, that's trash. Well, it could be going to the clients though. What if the client, and it's still in the service area?
Yeah,
you're right. It's not.
That's nothing.
That that's not significant. And also, even if it is, it's like 20 cents a mile or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I got my like fucking transmission fell out of my car, but like, thanks for 20 cents a mile. 20 cents a mile. Please do not call to inquire. Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, please just send a video of you doing push-ups or whatever.
This is the Amazing Race. Complete an application by visiting their website. Thanks again for your interest. And job type is in fact part-time.
Very part-time. And
then compensation says 16 to 22 an hour. Like they're expecting you to run 4 miles in an hour, which I guess you could do. Maybe not 6 miles in an hour. Anyway, the rates are garbage here.
The math is off. Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that it sounds like I'm joining, like I'm enlisting.
Yeah, like an Olympic. Are we training for the Olympics? Like, what are we? Why?
It does
why
feel
do the
a little
dogs?
Denver though.
Denver, I live there. It's very like I will say it's a very athletic place. There's a lot of people who are doing outdoors stuff constantly.
A lot of buff dogs.
A lot of buff dogs.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Now we know why.
I think there is a high concentration of not just buff people, but I think mountain people or mountain adjacent people definitely are dog people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they want a German motherfucking shepherd. Like they want a dog that can hustle, right? Because they're like, you know some people like mountain bikes with their dogs. Like they'll go down trails and the dog is just sprinting behind them, you know? And then you're gonna come in and be like, all right, dog, I'm gonna go 2 to 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
It's $16 with you. This dog is gonna run circles around you.
Yeah, but they're also asking for like must walk some of our older dogs, and so I
think willing to walk says to me that like they view that as like, oh, hey, listen, I know it's kind of a bummer. I know you want to run 7 miles twice a week for us minimum,
but
sometimes you have to walk an old dog.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man,
no.
You know, what's the mile? Like, is it per mile? It's like, well, you only walk the old dog half a mile. So $10. Fuck $10. You know, what's crazy is I'm saying no to this. However, like there is for sure a world in which I would look at this job, like talk about, you know, Jodi's 2.5 years that she lived in Denver. You know, I didn't live in Denver for 2.5 years, but you know, I've been around this kind of thing where it's like, you know what, maybe I can do that. Like I would think that I could do it. And I would probably be able to hold on to it for a couple weeks before just the shin splints took over.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, hey guys, I need that, you know, uniform upgrade compensation for running shoes. And they're like, absolutely. And they give you like a $15 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, that is not going to go super far. So
like, guys, I've been running in my jeans. All right. I need something else.
Running these Jinkos with a Game Boy in my pocket. And it's just not working out. So again, I think I could do this and I would try. I would be like, this sounds like actually kind of cool because I would love to get more into running. And I think that actually the 10-minute mile isn't terrible, is it? The 8-minute mile is freaky, but the 10-minute mile is like that's just kind of like a little if you can run, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think an 8-minute mile.
I would look at this and be like, I bet you I could do this. And the tips, I would unfortunately, I think I would in a past life consider this, but now knowing what I know, absolutely not. There's not enough money to run your goddamn dogs.
Yeah.
I don't understand the tip part at all.
I think people
like who's tipping you?
Yeah.
The dog, I hope.
The dog. Yeah.
Here's a tip. Kick with your heels more. You know, because running form. I think that there's a chance that the people will tip you. But I think that it's kind of like at this point, like how Uber says that you can get tips, you know, it's like a lot of people don't fucking do that and they should, but they fucking don't. So,
yeah, I don't want to do it because I don't trust my relationship with dogs. Like I think I love dogs. Like I think that's my animal. Then I meet a dog I don't know. And then I find out I don't like them that much.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's very true.
You know, like I think, and then I go, maybe I get familiar with some of these dogs and we start running and then I start talking to these dogs about my problems. And then I'm not even running. We're just walking, and I'm just trying to work through it with them.
And you're just holding you're holding their face in your palms. You know, it's just you're just holding their jowls, just nose to nose.
Then we're like it's a hot dog, and it's like a one for you, one for me, and we're I'm just hanging out with these dogs, you know. And so I think kind of like you, Chase. I think I could do it, and then I don't know.
Well, then you become the Home Alone 2 lady who is covered in pigeons, but in your pigeon case, lady, dogs. Yeah.
It's dogs. Yeah. I have mange now. You know.
Jodi, what
catches a hair on my arms.
I still think I need to see the other because this is
they don't. You don't have to pick one of these.
Okay. This is not something I have to do this week.
No, this is just like if you're browsing, is this a click or a no? You know.
I think honestly, it sounds like fine on the page, level. But then when you read it, it's like, I think realistically, kind of like what Nick was saying, it's like, I love dogs. I absolutely love dogs. I love my dog, but meeting other people's dogs and having to run like 2 large dogs at once. I'm athletic, but I don't think I could handle that probably.
Exactly.
I think
this is one of those jobs where you would show up, Jodi, or I would show up, and we would say those things like, I'm athletic, I'm not sure. And I think the interviewer would talk you into it.
Yeah.
Because I think they churn through so many people. Yeah. And they're just like, oh yeah. Oh, you know what? You'll get it. You know, it's only 10-minute miles. And that's a loose number. It's a loose number, you know. And then they call you and they're like, I'm looking at your splits, Jodi.
Yes.
Yeah. And you did a 9:30, and this is unacceptable, you know.
Yes.
So that's what's gonna happen. Is they're gonna be nice to you, and then they're gonna be mean.
What it really comes down to is the money. Like, let's be honest. Like, this is just not worth my time or the income for like the amount of work. Gas, you know? Yeah, this is like not at all. Like $16 to $22 an hour for like a 1-hour job is like that's
just not good.
That's not even, that can't even cover gas. You know,
that's right. And then even if it was even slightly more, just a little more, like 30 or something.
Yeah.
I think you also got to consider the amount of food you're going to need to eat.
Yeah.
You know, because my guess is you're going to try and double up on some of these. Like you're going to do 2-mile running sessions in a day, you know, like, because that's what jobs are. You're working at, you're like, how much more of this can I do? So you're going to try and max it out, in which case there's only so many flavors of Cliff Bars, you know, before you're like, I got to eat different food and more of it. And then all of a sudden you're like your own little like vegan chef or something. And so
and all the equipment you're probably going to buy.
Yeah, you get a food processor, you know, you're making your own hummus
now. Yeah.
So I don't think so.
I think we're going to go with no.
Yeah, fuck this place. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what's your greatest fear.
Pretty picture of a woman.
And there's a picture. There's 4 pictures. The first picture honestly says it all.
It really does.
This is her the moment he asked her that.
It's a good picture. You know,
it is
beautiful,
a well-taken picture of a white lady
of auditioning for American Horror Story.
Yeah, she does look a little bit like what is that movie? Charmed, you know?
Charmed for sure.
Where she's like she could be in Charmed. She's got a witchy vibe.
Can you zoom in on her necklace?
Yeah, she does have a bit of a pendant.
Is that
could be a hammer and sickle? It could be like a little pipe. You know what I mean?
Like a bird, like a bird in a cage.
Much more likely to be a bird.
Yeah, probably a bird in a cage.
Do we think this is half of some sort of a key that opens a portal, or?
Absolutely.
Is she the gatekeeper and someone else is the keymaster?
Always go with yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Oh, I'm so glad you brought the key with you. Nice. Yes. I go everywhere with it, sir.
What are you the most beautiful black dress, by the way.
It's a very nice black dress. Like, the thing is, we've actually seen a lot of quote unquote photographers advertising on Craigslist. Typically, they're very bad at pictures.
Yes.
This person appears to not be.
This is great. Yeah. If it's their photo, is it their photo?
Well, that is a perfectly respectable doubt, Jodi.
I love the positioning of her hands. I love how one hand is just resting, the other hand is going, what the fuck, bro?
One is just, that's right. One is on the hip or whatever. And she's sitting on a bed and then one hand is sort of open, sort of like you could put some sage in that hand, you know? So that's picture number 1.
It's image 1 of 4, so we
got to get to it. Picture number 2 looks at much sadder man. This man, he does look like he's from Denver, if that's any consolation.
Yes,
he does feel a lot more local. He's got that classic wood background to it.
Dude, like that's that Friday the 13th background.
Yeah,
that's like that fucking cabin in the woods.
Or like 90s basement. 90s finished 90s basement.
Okay.
You know? Like where it's the laminate wood. It's not actual wood. I mean, it could be real wood, but it's not real wood. It's just the paneling you put on a wall to make it look like it's real wood. And he's sitting on a bed and he looks pretty downtrodden.
Yeah. Someone told him like his favorite band broke up.
He looks kind of like Che Guevara. You know what I mean? I've never seen a picture of him, but
he looks like Che Guevara if they told Che Guevara what was going to happen to Che Guevara.
This revolution is not working out, dude. Yeah, and to Argentina or whatever.
Barefoot.
He's barefoot. Yeah, he's not wearing shoes, and he's got some cargo olive pants. Again, very, very Denver. But he's a white man. Well, he's a man with a beard, pale skin. And then picture number 3, we're getting even more Denver here.
Right.
It looks like, honestly, person number 1 is afraid of the person who's taking the picture of her. Person number 2 is, again, afraid of, again, bad news that was just received. Person number 3, it looks like she's afraid she's not going to live in a van.
Yeah. No, Chase, I disagree. I think this is the least amount of expression I have ever seen on a face.
Yeah, she's pretty, yeah.
It's fair. Okay, so we have a
Stonehenge.
We have a person who's sitting on the door of an open van. That
you need someone to lie to the FBI for you? I got her right here.
Poker face. Yeah, her greatest fear is nothing. She fears nothing. Her
greatest fear is nothing.
I have no fear, and it's like that's my fear, is that I fear nothing because I'm gonna hurt somebody close.
She's like you ask her what her fear is. She says, "I no longer fear." You're like, what the fuck? What?
I no longer fear. Like, well, and then you're like, okay.
This woman's face clears rooms.
I agree. And then the photographer said, let's get in your van and drive to an open field where I can be alone with you. Because this woman is, I'm assuming woman, is sitting on the edge of an open van door. Behind is clearly belongings, things.
Right.
Again, that's probably this person lives in this van. And we've got some swag on the door, some like stoner buttons and like one of those fucking dumbass like paper lanterns or whatever. And this is not, if you're thinking hashtag van life, like, yeah, for sure, but this is not a nice van. It's not a nasty van, right? But it's like it's like a Chevy like Mark II, like a Chevy Astro or something. Like it's not like a Sprinter van or like a retrofitted Volkswagen. It's a Ford is what it is.
Yeah.
So
fashionable piece of carpet on the door. Is that what that is?
That's right. This is a bumper for where your feet would kick the door, and it's a piece of carpet. So
this woman is dressed in blankets. It feels like
pants are a bit like blankets.
Skater shoes. Yeah, like Cyrus shoes. But
this person looks like every person I've ever met who's lived in Asheville, Portland, Humboldt County, Denver, or Colorado in general. It just, wake and bake, baby. Okay. Picture number 4 is this person looks fearful, I would say.
I would say absolutely, yeah.
I would say sad.
Sad?
She's got like a sad look in her eyes. Yeah.
I can't. But what is this person going to say about these pictures? Anyway, this is a Black woman. She's looking in the distance. Honestly, again, much like the first picture, this is a good picture.
Yeah, they're great photos.
This is a great picture of a person. Look very intimate. As far as lighting goes, like again, we have none of the spots are too bright or anything. This person knows what they're doing. We're taking it just around golden hour, like it's just a little bit hazy, but it's clear that we're like kind of at the end of the day. We got a little bit of a gold to the light. It's very nice. But the person is sort of I would say like not clutching her chest, but has a hand on the chest in a sort of compassionate or was once fearful thing,
Yeah, this photographer is great at bumming people out.
Also, I should note that she has a necklace too, so she could have the other half of that.
Oh, the other half of that, the key. Yeah, very nice. Okay, we're getting
full
there.
circle.
Yeah, we're figuring this out. Okay, so the text begins. I'm a photographer in Denver, interested in the things we carry but rarely share.
Oh, gross.
You mean necklaces with supernatural powers?
You don't know me, but I speak in riddles.
What is your greatest fear? I'm talking about the things that keep you up at night or always seem to be lurking in the background. The Pandora's box we dare not touch.
Oh, dude, go fuck yourself.
This person's casting a spell, and I don't.
Oh God, get away from me.
Just over like a pot of like rice-a-roni or whatever.
Yeah, dude, take your Shirley Temple and get the fuck out of here.
This person has opinions on bitters,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a very direct expression of that fear and a few lines of context. The authenticity of your response is more important than anything else. And I don't care what you look like, only in what you have to say. If you want a feel for my work, search for Carl Bauer Private Fears Portrait Project.
What?
Carl Bauer Private. Say that 10 times fast. Carl Bauer Private Fears Portrait Project. I usually meet with people so we can get a sense of each other and talk about how and where we might approach a portrait, which would take place another day.
Oh, fuck that. Like, I'm going to surprise you with a photo shoot?
We got to do homework. Why can't you just do it the same
Come
day?
back another time?
Show up. Anyway, if you're interested, I first need a direct answer to the question. What is your greatest fear?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Okay.
This screams like
this is horror movie.
Yeah. This is so predatory.
Yeah.
Like,
I should note the compensation box says it doesn't provide a wage. It says I'm providing archival pigment prints of what we make together. Pigment prints? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Basically, they're saying
pay my light bill with that.
This person is saying, I will give you the picture I took of you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So I've kind of done something like this before.
All right.
But not this specifically.
Yeah, but illuminate us of the parallel.
Oh, dude, how great would it have been if it was a picture of Jodi? You're trying to.
Yeah, it's already me.
Yeah.
I did a specifically in Denver, which is why this is so funny. When I lived in Denver for 2.5 years, I did find a photographer on a Craigslist ad who was creating portraits from photographs. Nothing fear related, no fears.
Yeah, there was no fears. Okay.
There was no it was a very more straightforward and there was compensation. I was paid and it was above board. Everything went according to plan, but I did kind of just meet a stranger from Craigslist, take some photos, all artistic photos, nothing all tasteful. And he did oil paints and they're very gorgeous. And I'm really happy I did it, but it could have gone in another direction.
Sure.
Very much so.
Could have. Yeah.
However, I think that you're right that the primary thing that you knew when going in was that the person did not intend to take anything from you other than a photo, instead of like, oh, I'm here to take your soul.
Yes.
If you don't mind, so my guess is the pitch on Craigslist was like, hey, looking for fellow creatives who want to get their picture taken, and I'll paint a picture of you and I'll pay you a nominal fee. And you're like,
I don't remember, to be completely honest, but it was enough for me to feel safe. I wasn't an idiot, hopefully at the time. And I researched the person and I saw their other work.
Right.
This gives me a lot of fears on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Just the general subject line being private, your private fears, and being willing to share that right away immediately gives me like serial killer vibes.
Yeah, because it's like, now let's imagine I'm straight motherfucking honest with you. And also I have to think for a long time about my biggest and the most private fear. It's like, okay, that's a big Venn diagram. Then you finally nail it, and then you tell him, and then he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna write that in blood and put this in this jar, and we're gonna bring about the end of the world. Here it goes.
Yeah,
we'll take a photo another day.
Right.
Some other time. Thanks for telling me.
Thank you.
Bye.
I feel
he
like
gets in his like fucking hearse.
Yeah.
I feel like this guy, you meet him, he figures out what your fear is, and then he says, okay, thanks. And then he figures out your hangs. Then he shows up one day with your fear. Let's say, oh, I'm talking to Chase. Chase's biggest fear is clowns. I figure out what Chase works. And then I go to his work. I hire a clown. The clown shows up in front of Chase. Chase gets terrified. I take a picture of him in his terrified moment. That's what I think he's doing. That's why I think he sets up.
Crazy.
That's why he sets up a separate, which would take place on another day.
Yeah, this is like Saw, but a little less death.
And like, I'll tell you, like right now, I don't want any part of that. And two, I'm too much of like kind of like a contrarian fuck. Like there's no way, even if you do this, you figure out my greatest fear, you pop in on me a week later with it, I'm still giving you finger guns in the picture. Like I'm still just gonna, I won't.
Or you're gonna beat the shit out of that clown.
Yeah. Oh, there's a serious chance I get into a shoving match with whatever you show up with.
Like, not today, Satan,
Yeah.
Oh, I think Nick, I don't know why, but Nick is choking that clown. He's choking the clown.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, I'm definitely causing a scene with it or whatever. And it's very blurry pictures you're
that,
getting.
or you're just like
I think I
saw Nick throw a guy with a beret into the trunk of his car and drive off because he's like directing the picture. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, no, dude. I mean, again, this person clearly takes decent pictures.
Yeah, the pictures are good,
but we don't know if these are from the Fierce Project.
No.
Yeah,
like it could have been, honestly, the picture number 3 of the person in the van, it could have been after he takes your soul, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And the person is just like, I don't exist anymore. I live in vans, you know? So no, I'm not going to tell you my fear.
You know what I really don't like about this, though, specifically, is there's nothing about it that's trying to, like, there's nothing about it that's self-aware on how creepy it actually comes off.
Right. Sure. The person could simply say, hey, I know this sounds a little off, but trust me, if you look at my pictures, if you look at the work, you'll see that it's
here's a link to my website. Here's a link to, and said, we're supposed to assume this is this person's work, which we don't know. It could just be a lookbook. It could be an idea.
This is Shutterstock, you know?
Yeah.
Just missing posters from various small towns across America.
These are all the people that may or may not be missing in and around the Aurora, Colorado area.
We don't know.
Hi, there's currently a bounty out for me, but I was wondering.
Do you have a minute? So yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I'll say, post a picture of yourself like, hey, I'm afraid of heights. Here's a picture of me at the top of the Empire State Building. Don't I look terrified? This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like some vulnerability.
A picture of yourself.
Yeah. Grant yourself all this power, and then I have to be vulnerable for you.
Yeah, I have to tell you my Pandora's box. I dare not touch.
Tell me your fear. And also I get to punch you in the dick right after you tell me. Put something on the line, my guy.
Yeah, because you're not paying me. That's a good point.
These photos don't really match like somebody's greatest fear.
Yeah, they just look like pictures of people.
They look like good pictures.
They look like vaguely sad or nonplussed.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, we're just gonna say fuck this place.
Yeah. Sorry.
Heyo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, did you know that you can text this podcast? The number is 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We take your side, by the way. That's an automatic position. If you text us, we're on your side.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about your boss. You think I'm going to protect that guy? I hate that guy. I hate that guy. I got your back. We got your back here.
Absolutely. If we're like this is like a weirdo, like sleazy lawyer commercial. I mean, we're on your side to a point, you know.
I'm wearing a goofy suit right now.
I'm wearing a brown tie. Couldn't tell you why. If you need to talk shit about something, like we're your shit talking team. All you gotta do is text 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We're on your side.
Jodi, what's the first job you ever had?
My first job, I worked at Circus in Las Vegas. I worked at the Adventure Dome.
I don't know what Circus is.
You've never been to Circus?
Oh, it's a casino. It's just a casino. Okay. I think I have been. I was a little drunk.
Yeah, probably. It's the one that's marketed towards kids and teenagers. They have the Adventure Dome, so like, you know, the family can go, and the Adventure Dome's like a carnival, you know, an inside carnival.
Okay, I've not been Circus. I've not been Circus.
I was carny, basically. I was
hell yes.
Yeah. I stood in, I yelled at people, you want to play this game? You want to play? You know, you want to play this. You can totally play this game. And that we've
talked a lot about a lot of carnivals and stuff. I don't know if you had many actual Carnies on here. Yeah.
Although I would say that you are, you know, probably the upper echelon of Carnies.
Yeah.
You mean working at the Adventure Dome?
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
I would say like the Winnemucca, Nevada Carnies with 9.5 fingers would probably be like, look at this.
Look at this uppity motherfucker.
Big time over here.
You're not traveling, you know.
Oh, no grease on your face, huh?
You're not sleeping on a train car.
You're right. I'm sure there's worse. I don't know if there's better.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say that you're in the upper echelon. You're let's say top 20% of all carnivals worldwide, even
1%er of Carnies.
Yeah, the 1%er of Carnies. Oh man, that's great. So the Adventure Dome has like I looked it up on. It has roller coasters.
Yes, yeah, roller coasters. sisters.
Wow. Okay. So again, that's pretty legit as far as a carnival
There's
goes.
live shows there.
Live shows,
For
little
kids,
cir-
just for kids. At the
yes.
end of it?
Yeah,
So
Cirque du Soleil.
so what happens is the parents are like, I would like to gamble. And they drop their kids off basically at the Adventure Dome, and they can't escape
Yes.
until the parents pick them up again. Is that the deal?
A lot of that, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I
A lot of I want to drink and gamble, and the kids here. This is a place for you. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in that arcade growing up, just because.
Did you?
Because my best friend's parents love to gamble, so they would drop us off there when we go to Vegas a lot. And
totally.
It's not the nicest hotel,
No.
not the nicest casino.
No.
All right, it's like you want to bring a bunch of your shit ton of kids, whatever, and still be able to gamble, get all fucked up.
It's like
It's
Chuck
like
E.
adios,
Cheese.
motherfuckers, or whatever you're doing.
Yes.
You can do that there.
So Jodi,
Exactly.
what was your responsibilities in the Adventure Dome?
I don't really remember having a lot of responsibility.
Okay.
I can't even...
What happened to you or to others that you were around?
My vague memory is I was 16. It was
Yeah.
like the earliest I could be to get a job.
Right,
My mom wanted me to pay for my own car, my own like car payments, my own gas. So she was like, "You're going to get a job." So she got me a job at
So
Circus
she dropped you off
Circus.
at the Adventure Dome.
Yeah,
and you're like, can I get a job here?
She was like, "You figured." She had like some connection to Circus Circus, so she got me my job there.
Oh, got it.
And I didn't know what I was doing, and no one trained me. This is actually an ongoing theme in a lot of my jobs is nobody trains me, and I just kind of have to figure it out.
Mhm.
The wandering Jodi, yeah.
Yes. So I was like 16 years old, and they would just be like,
They just put a wrench in your hand and like, go fix that Ferris wheel.
kind of. They would just be like, "Here, you're in charge of this game," and I wouldn't know how that game
How the
worked.
game worked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about it, and I would have to figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
And
So
like
like the
you're-
first like 30 people that played were like,
Yeah.
this game sucks. And you're like, I
Yeah.
think it does.
Yes, exactly.
You're like, Jodi, what do you know about the flying trapeze?
Yes. And I'd be like,
I'll figure it out.
I think the worst one is there was for some reason it was like a game where you had to guess people's weight. And they didn't.
What a game.
You're like, it's under the guise that we're like, they just throw you in different categories, and there's like a thing where somebody can like they're so close to guessing your weight. Somebody pays you to guess your weight.
Yes,
and
of course.
if they get it right, then whatever, you lose. But if they get it wrong, you get like tickets for like a prize or something.
Okay.
So I never had to do that one, thankfully, but and I think I tried actively to avoid it because they didn't train you on how to guess people's weight. They were literally just
and it seems
relying
like a
on
way just to get punched in the throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we like to call this game hurt feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff like that, and it was just it was a really weird like thing. I just had to give people, and they tell you like your job is just to give people false confidence,
In the games.
Oh man.
Yes, because a lot of the games, it's not that you couldn't win them, but they do stack the odds against you like a lot.
Yeah, the Carney games.
Yeah. And then your job is to walk up to somebody and like tell them like, "Oh no, you are strong. Like you absolutely you can handle this. Like you've got
you
like
big boy."
Yeah, you yes.
Hey, you big boy, come here.
You big boy, you win games. It's great. Yeah. Kind of thing.
Question.
Yeah.
So how does the money and or tickets work? So like the kids, do they exchange money for tokens or something? And then to play a game, it's like 5 tokens or
I think it's like pretty, I don't remember. I think it was pretty steep for like Circus Circus is a lot more money than like an average place. But I think you're in the 1%
of Carnies.
Yeah, we're up there apparently. You exchange money for I think tickets to like coins. I think there's one of those like weird like arcade coins specifically.
Yes, and everyone's goal is to try and get those coins out of your pocket.
Yes.
And into a game or activity. Yeah.
All the other desert carnies showing up just like, wow, they're using real money in here, huh? The 1% of carnies. Oh, you don't just use things you whittle and barter around here.
Yeah. And it was like you could use, I think in Circus Circus they let you use your own money because they just want your money. And then
they do want your money. So the parents just give the kids like $50 or whatever.
Yes. They're just like, here, go have fun. And then you can win prizes, big stuffed animals, that kind of thing.
And or you can spend it on rides, which are guaranteed to be a good time, and whereas the games are in no way a good time.
Absolutely, yes, I'd agree with that statement. The rides were super fun.
Yeah,
I have this like vivid memory of just like how thick the smell of air is in that casino. Like it's a different
like
kind
an indoor
of air.
Pool kind of.
Yeah, dude, it's just some thick ass air. Like it's just like you're walking and it's like you go slower. Like whatever your mile time is in real life, if you had to run it in Circus in the arcade, it's slower.
Cut it off like 10%. Yeah.
You run it through the mud. There's a McDonald's in there, if I remember correctly.
Oh, shit.
And it's painted the same color as the first McDonald's. Like they've upgraded it at all. It's very deep browns. It was back when it was just McDonald's. He only had the one. And so it was like, that's it. Like everything about that place. And I've been in that arcade. I've spent a lot of time in there. So it's like, it's super weird. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. And like the carpet. Oh, the carpet.
The carpet.
You want to mop that thing. You don't want to have a carpet.
Yeah, like you know, like you step on the carpet and you hear like distant souls, like like you're stepping on dead bodies as you go.
Yeah, it was
all
so
the kids
sticky.
that have lost $20 on like the goldfish game where they're throwing the ball on it.
Yes,
never got a goldfish.
Yeah. I think all of downtown Las Vegas has that thick air you're talking about. It has its own unique
that
smell.
Vegas air.
That Vegas air, that Vegas smell.
And is Circus is that it's in old Vegas, not in like the new strip? Is that
it's
that
old
when
Vegas.
When you say downtown? Okay, got it.
Yeah, downtown. I think it's closer to downtown Las Vegas. I think they threatened to blow it up a bunch of times.
They're like
patrons have threatened to blow it up.
No. Like
the employees.
We gotta level this fucking thing. There's no saving it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Remodel? Absolutely not. We need a crater where this once was.
I keep like cutting you off. This is your thing, but I just, like I said, I've had so many memories. I think that's like that was the first big time casino they were building. And now it is the oldest one because they've continued to build further south or whatever the direction is. But that's like it's the closest one to downtown, to Old Town. It's like, it's been there for fucking ever.
Yes, it's been there forever. I don't know the exact history on like which one was first between the casinos of which one was built first or anything like that. But yeah, they like to blow up a lot of the old casinos in Vegas and and make new like models. But I think Circus is still there, if I'm not mistaken.
Some sort of witch's curse or something that's keeping it going. Yeah.
You know, it's protected by dark magic.
Yes.
You remember like Game of Thrones, the wall that could not come down because there was like a spell? That's the same thing with Circus. It's the same spell. Yeah.
But honestly, I kind of like love working there. I think I could have I got away with like, I think you could just kind of go to whatever game you want. I don't think you had too many people like paying attention to you.
It does strike me as like, as a thing where you would show up and you would get your assignment that day, right?
Yeah.
And really, regardless of how many people show up or don't, it's just sort of like, we got bodies on the floor. That's all that matters.
Yes. As long as people were generally in front of games.
These are the least important customers in this entire town.
Yes.
Like they've been handed some money. We're for sure going to get some of it. And we just need them to like go find their parents and need to get more. Like that's all we need to do. And that's it.
As long as that gas leak is still going, we're fine. We got them under our umbrella here. They're not going anywhere. All right.
Yeah.
You put all those sleepy kids in the corner over there. Okay.
So go ahead.
No, please, you.
I was just going to say they actually had like a really cool Halloween thing that they would do too. And I was like all about it. But that was the one time I remember like, Circus Adventure Time was kind of cool and fun. They like did like a whole like Halloween themed thing where it was like everything was glow in the dark.
Oh,
and so
like black light or like
the black light and the lights were out and everything was
teens
glow in the
love
dark.
that stuff.
It was so teen. It was so teen. And it was I just remember kind of like wandering off and doing my own thing. And
did you were there other teens that worked there? I mean,
no. No, there was one guy, one young guy, one teenage guy that was around the same age as me, and I had a crush on him, and it was probably just because of lack of options.
It's like it's this guy, this old Cambodian lady that I've been working with.
Kind of, it was surprisingly a lot of. Well, I would say it was 90%, 90-something percent, just older people. Like
no wonder they didn't care what you did.
Yes, they did not care what I did.
The adults knew what to do. You know?
Yeah, they've been trapped there since like Peter Pan kept them there or whatever. They're the kids that never grow up. That's what it means to never grow up. You get a job at Circus.
Yeah.
I mean, you face
games
ages.
forever.
So it was just me and him, and I tried to like I think I tried to talk and flirt with him, and nothing happened. It was very like it was unreciprocated. He didn't go for it. We didn't go for it.
Were you guys actually around the same age, or was it like a thing where just like, I think you're within 35 years of me?
No, we were. He was the only one around my age. For sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
He was like, you're like flirting with him when you do that weird like ring toss on the bottle game or whatever, the impossible ass game.
Yes, I would ask for his help a lot, and like, it was, but nothing happened with it.
Jace or something. Like he was like kind of a cool name, but kind of a not cool name.
His name was Adele.
Adele. Okay, so that's a pretty fucking cool name.
Dude, shout outs to Adele.
It was a cool name. He was a very nice guy too. So shout out to Adele.
R.I.P. I assume.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. He was my age.
Shout out to Adele. I hope you're all right, man.
Yeah, same.
Right into the show, Adele. Let us know you're all right.
Yeah, let us know you're okay. Please.
If anyone has heard or seen from Adele, please write into the show.
We worked at Circus. He did the rigged basketball game. If anyone could please write it.
Oh my God, that basketball game. Yeah, it was rigged. It was.
They're all rigged.
I know.
And the thing is, everybody knows they're rigged. And the point is, as you've said already, Jodi, the point is for you to be like, no, but you big boy. You know,
it is. It's to give.
We all know it's tough. You know, but it's not tough for you.
But you have muscles. You can handle.
You could defy God.
Yeah, it's just you though. Just you.
Defy God and physics.
You're all playing the serpent. The serpent in there.
I don't know if I should admit this or not, but I did once give a kid a gift or a prize.
Oh, I think that's totally understandable.
Okay.
We're not going to tell the cops.
Can I get in trouble?
The statute of limitations for sure.
Can I get in trouble? It's a little girl.
This podcast. I mean,
maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens the next couple days.
We typically the FBI and or the feds aren't monitoring the podcast, but
But if somebody shows up at my door and they're like, "You gave a little girl a bunny back in
how dare you?"
Back in the early 2000s.
What was the motivation behind giving this child the bunny?
She reminded me of me as a little girl not winning the prize.
Yeah.
I had that moment where I was like, I remember being a little girl and wanting to win something so badly and then not winning it and going home so devastated.
Right.
And this little girl, she just reminded me so much of me. And then she didn't win the prize she wanted. And I was like, I can't do it. And I risked it. And I just gave it to her. And her mom was like, I'll give you free Mary Kay makeup for doing that. I was like, no, it's okay.
Oh, man, two grifters meet in a Thunderdome or whatever. Like one person's like, here's the thing that doesn't matter and it costs us like 10 cents and we get $1 million a day just for people trying to play. And this other person's like, oh, I've got makeup that I'm trying to sell that I can't do because everyone else is also trying to sell the same fucking makeup. Do you want some?
Yeah. And I got bunnies. Let's exchange.
Straight up. Dude, Las Vegas, Sin City, City of Magic, baby. That's Vegas, baby.
Some of those other guys I got old lewds.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you weirdo. You got bunnies and makeup, bunnies and blush.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
That's really sad. It's pretty cool though. It's like I like the little bit of hope you see throughout though. A little bit of magic. Is that the fumes? Probably, but also I'm gonna do something nice for you. Okay, Jodi, that's your first job. Yeah. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had a lot. I'm probably, there's two that come straight to mind, but I'll go to the one that I worked for a day and left because I couldn't do it. It was
okay.
We can hit them both. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I applied to work at the Waffle House in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Holy shit.
Right next to the airport.
God. Damn.
My application was just like
what a sad string of words.
It was so many things.
Your application was what? Just like a crumpled up dollar bill.
It was it was just like math equations. It was just like basic math. So you just had to do the basic math. And if you did that, you got the job.
Yeah.
Right.
So I did that. And then they wanted me to work by myself overnight by myself. And
absolutely.
I think it was like the first day they wanted me to mop urine off the wall,
off the ceiling somehow.
This is not an exaggeration. This is just what it was. And I was just like, I went home, I cried. I was like, I don't.
I'll do anything else.
I was like, I don't know if I'm going to hold out for, we'll see what else can happen. I just wasn't able to.
What's the tone, what's the general energy when someone asks you to clean up piss on your first day on the job? Like, are they hard nosed about it, or are they just like, oh, a little bit of pee pee? You know, like, are they trying to be like, how are they telling you? Like,
it was just like, it was normal. And like, look, I'm not trying to put down anybody who does do, like, this is, you know, that people do.
I don't think they love it. I don't think you're going to be insulted to hear it. Hey, don't talk. Hey, we love mopping piss around here. All right. So,
I just,
to be clear, a lot
cover
of times
my-
when people mop up piss, at least let's say 80% of the people that do mop up piss and receive money for it were told that was going to be the genre of things they'd be doing. You know,
yeah,
there's
very far from
20%
waffles
of like Starbucks workers where things go awry or whatever.
Yeah,
and you're definitely in that 20% here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was told on the first day, and I can handle a lot of things, but I'm not good with certain things.
With wall urine.
And I decided that was one of them. It was two things that kept me from probably going further. And one of them was knowing that I was going to be by myself overnight. And that was not safe. I knew that.
Was there a cook and you? You were the only server? Is that?
It would have been just, a cook and me. It would have been just me though, handling everything.
And it gets fucking like,
so is it the cook that's
things go awry?
Yeah. 3 a.m. is when things go crazy.
That's the reason that Waffle House is open.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Not for the breakfast shift where it's like, good morning, hun. You know,
it's for, it's a certain life to be by yourself at 3 a.m. There's, it's going to be a different, it's going to be a different vibe for probably, I don't know. I didn't work it, but I didn't feel like it was going to be safe for me, a tiny girl just doing this by herself. So
you got a pretty good read on the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. One. And then two, they, on the first day when they were like, you have to mop this, like urine off the wall. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm good. I'm going to just see what else I can do out there. And then
did you mop piss off the wall?
I did not.
You good for you.
No,
good for you.
Yeah.
Not. So you were like, oh, you know what's crazy is I'll go fuck yourself. And then you got in your car and drove away.
And I really needed the money. I came to Albuquerque, New Mexico with only I mean, this sounds like I'm making this up, but the reality is I came to Albuquerque, New Mexico with only $200 in my pocket. That is a true story. I don't know. I was in that. I've been poor most of my life. I grew up poor. I absolutely only had $200. That didn't even cover my rent at the time. I was, I was drinking gas station coffee. So this was like I needed a job. But I just decided that, I held out. I was like, I'd rather hold out.
I can come back to this Waffle House. I bet. I bet you can come back.
Yes. If I really
is open.
Yes. If I really need it, I can come
open.
back to it.
Yes.
The other one was a law firm that I had no business working in. Again, zero training. I don't know. I got the job because I did a Craigslist, one of those, they do like I forget what it's called. It's like a mock jury thing. And they just give you $50 to give you your like opinion. They're going to like give you a case and they give you like $50 to just get your opinion and you go home.
Like, I don't like the way that guy looks,
Yeah. I went to I just wanted I went to Albuquerque with no money. So I just needed
This is also in Albuquerque.
This is in Albuquerque. And I went and did this thing. And then like a week later, I got a call and they're like, would you like a job? I needed a job.
Yeah.
So I just said,
I mean, like, that's such a funny thing that they know the answer.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I got the free time to go hang out and get $50. You're like, I don't like the way that guy's hair looks,
Exactly.
They're like that person could definitely use a job.
Yes.
So they called you.
They called me and I got a job as basically a paralegal, which I had no right being there. I had no experience in law. I had no idea what I was doing. Nobody trained me on anything. I think I spent a year and a half just pretending to look like I was filing paperwork.
Nice.
I'm not joking. I wish I
way to squeeze the bastards.
Well, I mean, you hired me because this is why they hired me. They hired me because they liked that I took their side in the case.
Oh, got it.
So I don't think I'm the one who's in the wrong for just going with it.
I think you did the right thing here to just be like, I'm gonna just pretend to work for a year and a half. Like,
I needed the money and I was like, I'll just do it. If they think I should work here, I'll work here.
So what happened like day to day? Like, did people ask you for things?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I didn't do nothing. I mean, sure. I kept a hold of a book.
You kept hold of a book, the good book. Well,
There's an important book on a case that we were working on, and I always made sure I had it in my hand. I was definitely like making copies of stuff. I was definitely filing stuff. I'm a very capable person. This is
you're an admin assistant to some degree.
Basically an admin assistant. But when it came to doing stuff, I didn't really do. I felt like it was mostly like killing time, like at an office, and it, I think they fired me. This is the first time I was ever fired from.
Oh, wow.
And their reasoning was that I didn't do very much. And I was like, yeah, no.
Well, listen, this is the one thing where we have to agree. Yeah.
You're just like, well, I knew this day would come.
Yep.
Find my plan.
Yeah, they were like, you just don't, you kind of sit around and you're like, you're like on your computer. And I'm like,
you're describing the last year and a half, sir. Yeah.
It's crazy that they wouldn't first tell you to do more, that they would just go to firing you.
It wasn't a very,
good law office.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any, like, I don't think that they were, it was a toxic environment, right? Like it was a very toxic place. All the girls everyone that was hired was like a pretty girl, pretty young girl.
That's also why they hired you, is they were like, we've met this person in person and she seems attractive and bathes herself. So we are going to bring her in just like the other people that we brought in. And we'll see what happens.
I'm not going to sit here and judge myself on looks, but I will say that there's been some jobs that I think I've gotten because I'm like, oh, I'm a young, female that like is, in their eyes, they want you to just be like, what, subservient. It's sexism.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sexism. I think
I got books and books or whatever. Yeah.
Can you hold this book for 6 hours?
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of like, and they just decided to like fly me around and be a part of like cases, which I was like, I didn't want to do. They didn't even tell me. They would just be like, oh, you're flying tomorrow with me to Tennessee. And I was like,
that's insane.
Yeah, it was a really toxic work environment. When they fired me, I was very vocal about, my experience there. And one of them was like, yeah, you're right. I don't work. No one trained me on what to do ever. And I don't have any experience here. Like, why did you hire me? Like there was a lot of like calling them out on the stuff, even though like,
what did they say?
Yeah. Do they have a response?
Oh, he was very angry. I think I don't think anybody ever talked back to these people in their lives. I don't know. He was very mad at me. He was shaking. I was like,
shaking.
He was so mad he was shaking. Because I told him, what I felt, which was like, I felt
no one ever like trained me, and you guys are bad at having employees.
And I don't think I was hired for the right reasons. And did I take advantage of that? I guess, but like it was a very like weird.
You flew me places. Surely you got to know what I was doing.
That's the thing. Is like I don't know. It was such an interesting like life experience to like. I kind of just took the job because I needed a job and I was hoping that would be the right thing. But then over and over, it was like, oh, this is just toxic, toxic.
You were like, look, I sided with you on the urine on the wall case. Okay. That's all I did. And you brought all this, you projected the rest of it on me.
That's all that happened. Yeah. And the rest, they were just, and they even told me, they're like, you know why we hired you, right? Because we thought you had a really good mind about this case. And I was like, all I did was agree.
That sounds like a dumb person saying that.
Yeah. A dumb guilt trip thing.
Yeah. Like a dumb idiot being like, you know why we hired you? It's because you got a good mind, like, no.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's
we both know that's incorrect, sir. I'm a young person.
There's no way I have a good mind. You know that like there's parts of my brain that haven't even formed yet. They haven't even finished. They haven't even cooked. And you want me to sit here? Okay, I'll do whatever you ask,
And I know nothing about law. It was just like logic. Anyway, that was that.
So
makes you sound kind of crazy, huh?
No, not really. I mean, because we're gonna circle back to the whole Albuquerque decision in a minute, but you were in a tough spot and you're like, what the fuck ever. My question is, when you go away on these cases, what are they asking you to do there?
The same stuff, nothing. Just like holding a book. I went to, they would take me, I think, this is going to sound so sad and maybe this is too harsh, but it was a little bit like paid friendship a little bit. Like
no, we're going this direction. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, it was a little bit like just having somebody to be there, I feel kind of sad about admitting, but it's kind of what it felt like.
No. I think there, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's probably more than any of us would be comfortable with. That of admin positions. Where it's mostly the people in charge who want to feel better.
Yes.
That somebody works for them.
Yes.
B, somebody is nice to them because they work for you.
Yes.
And C, they can foist random things that they rather would not do on.
Yes,
they're foisting
exactly.
ways.
Yes, they're foisting ways. Yeah, it was felt like a little bit like just having somebody to eat the dinner with, you know.
Yeah. We've run into that before. I feel like we've run into some common things here. Like the other thing, we had this comic Aston Wallace on who
he worked at a law firm. Was that?
Yeah,
no, it was a real.
But
it was a real.
But he worked with
people.
some something like no, I thought they were like lobby. It doesn't matter because when he stood up to them, they couldn't handle.
They screamed.
Like it's like weird. It's like unless you yell objection or whatever before they can't process anybody saying
Your
something.
Honor. Yeah.
He's
not a judge.
It's weird that you said that because he yelled at me when he fired me, and I told him I was like, yeah, okay, and I told him my thoughts on the way that the toxic place was going, and then he yelled at me. But there was like a really weird, like I said, working environment. There was a lot of sexism involved, it felt like, and also like I didn't like the way that because I'm an actor, and they accused me of faking my emotions because
that's some toxic bullshit.
Because I have the skill level of an actor. And
you're good.
And
you're
I was
good,
like,
little lady.
Yeah, I was
crying in the office. Wow, really going method today, huh, Jodi?
Look, I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like, there was a little bit of, they thought manipulation was involved, and I was like,
it's because they're manipulators. That's why they think it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you understand how acting works. Acting is
purely voluntary and consensual.
Yes,
we all know when an actor is acting.
Yes, it's like there's a lot
we
more
say
to it.
things like action, or
yes,
we say things like time to start the play, or whatever. The house lights go down, and I think we all understand that these are people who are acting now.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but I think the manipulating comment it's always from manipulators.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They assume that I worked with people like this. They assume that everyone is trying to get one over on them because they are always trying to get one over on somebody else.
Yes.
Always. That's exactly. They're just like, okay, so here's what we're gonna fucking do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him, and then I'm gonna hang up. You call him right after and say, oh, so sorry, and then offer them less than we ever said. Like shit like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When someone calls them, they're like, okay, these motherfuckers are after me. Yeah. And you're like, well, it's because you're after. That's because you're sad and you think that everyone is you.
Yeah, they have tactics up the wazoo, and they're looking for yours, and it's like they're amazed when there's just a person who's like, oh, I'm just trying to live my best life.
I'm just trying to make it through the day and
I'm just trying to
less scathed.
Honestly, I'm just here because I have to be right now. I don't want to be, but I have to be to pay my bills. Like, I didn't want this either.
Okay, so let's talk about how you got into this situation. I mean, obviously, I know how you got into the Waffle House.
Yeah.
But the overarching thing is Jodi arrives in Albuquerque.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. What is
what made me decide that?
Yeah.
Sure. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm an actor. I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I got an agent in Denver right outside of, which is why I went to Denver. Pretty easy decision when you get an agent like right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Denver had a lot of commercials, and New Mexico has like amazing TV shows that were filming there.
Right, that's a good point. Albuquerque is like the Atlanta of the West.
Yeah, that's specifically when I came down was right when Breaking Bad was ending.
Got it.
And
it put Albuquerque on the map for sure.
Yeah. And it still is, like, in my opinion, one of the best shows to ever exist. I mean, it's
just a fucking great show.
Yeah,
it's really fucking good.
And I saw it before it was even like popular, I was OG. And I wanted to work on it, and I didn't get to, but I did get to like meet a lot of the cast members and kind of like, I got some like really good things out of it. I've had a really like great, Albuquerque is one of my favorite places that I've ever lived. It's actually where I kind of want to retire. I love Albuquerque. I love Albuquerque.
I've only been through Albuquerque a couple times, but anytime it's like someone's like Albuquerque, I was like, I'd fucking live there. Just for the record. I'd live there.
Yeah, it's great. I love Albuquerque. I love New Mexico. I think it's a gorgeous place. Yeah. So
it's
I
primo
moved
desert.
there.
I feel like New Mexico is all primo desert. Maybe that's not true. Some deserts kind of not primo, but
I don't. It is it's really nice. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Taos or anything like that.
I was gonna say, because then you
there's
get the high desert. If you just go north of Albuquerque, you got Santa Fe, Taos. It's a fucking good time.
It's yes, it really
I
is.
have been to Santa Fe.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. And so I kind of like did a little hippy dippy, but I read The Alchemist and I wanted to work in film and TV. And for
Right.
some reason, the next best steps didn't seem like going straight to Los Angeles. That seemed like like a bad step for me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
me
if it
too.
was a raging success, but it sounds to me like you got a lot of things out of it.
I did. I got a lot of things out of it. I had some of my best life experiences there. And I mean, if it wasn't for New Mexico, I wouldn't have the best jobs that I've worked on, have come out of New Mexico. So
while you were doing the law thing, were you able to like book acting gigs?
Yeah, okay. I think I did. Yeah. It was a weird time in my life. You just called in
sick or something, or
yeah.
My guess is these people weren't like super chill. We're like, hey, listen, if you gotta take a day, you gotta take a day, Well,
it was kind of weird that like every place I work for, I'm very straightforward. I have no problem. I use my voice a lot because I feel like people are not, I don't know. It's a weird thing where people just expect, I don't lie. I'm very straightforward. I'm like, this is, if I have a bad experience, I'll tell you. If I have a good experience, I'll tell you. I don't have like, I'm not trying to ever manipulate anybody. I'm just trying to be like,
I'm trying to fucking get by here, my dude. And I'll tell you my goals.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you my greatest fear, but I'll tell you my goals.
Well, and anyway. So I told them straight up front, what I was doing. So which is why they thought it was like something that I used to manipulate.
Oh, like, right. Because they found out right away.
No, I'm an actor as well. And
like, this is just like season 5, episode 3 of Breaking Bad.
They thought I could just like cry on cue that I would.
You're a real Skylar, aren't you? Wasn't there like, I feel like there was a time where like the Skylar, the wife character in Breaking Bad, she got a lot of trash talk.
She got too much trash talk
in the probably like that when the show was on the air, people were like, Skylar fucking sucks. And then as the show has aged, everybody's like, no man, like Skylar seems pretty reasonable. She's like a pretty reasonable human.
She's a very reasonable human. It's a really weird thing.
Pretty tough spot.
Really. Could you imagine? I never liked the Skylar hate talk. I always liked her. I always thought she was great. I mean, I absolutely love almost all the characters on the show.
Man, that final fucking scene between Skylar and Walter White, that shit fucking ruled.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you haven't seen
you're
it,
right.
You're not going to. So what?
At this point, if you're,
you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like at this point, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild. So, so Jodi, we always wrap up the podcast with like 3 questions that we kind of always have to kind of like make sure we cover bases.
Yeah.
For question number 1, I think we pretty much have an answer, and that's for the worst job. When were you done, and how did you quit? You got fired. And you left. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 2. What was? And this can be either job.
Yeah.
What's one good thing you say you took from that bad job or jobs?
That's a good question, actually. There's always good with bad, right?
Well, you say that. Not everybody on this podcast does.
Not everybody.
So go on.
I learned. I don't know. I learned that like I can just be me and it's fine. I don't know.
No, that's an incredible lesson. Yeah.
It's fine.
You consistently say, Jodi, you're just like, if you want to know why it sucks to work here, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Like it's fine. And he may still hate me. I don't know. I don't know if he's still mad at me about that whole thing. Or
I think yes.
Yeah, you think?
I think yes, but also I think the person would have a hard time remembering you. Does that make sense?
I think
he remembers the incident of like, I remember that time that person spoke to me bad.
Yeah.
He blames someone else. He blames like Brando. Whatever,
exactly. Yes.
That time Brando was mouthing off.
People that are that manipulative are really like face blind. Like that. It's all about their circle.
Their world. Yeah.
Their world. So it's like, it's someone who still works for them. That was like, I remember that person mouthed off me that one time.
Yeah.
Brenda's still paying for it.
Yeah.
You stayed consistently Jodi, and that's what matters.
I've learned that it's okay to be authentic, and it doesn't affect the outcome. It doesn't. I only think it brings you closer to what you're supposed to be doing because
wow, that's very deep.
Hell yeah.
I believe it because it's like I wasn't meant to be there. We both knew it. Everyone knew it. Even but yet I was there, and for whatever reason, it went down the way it went down, and whether he remembers me or not, it's fine. we were both fine. He's still
you didn't teach him a lesson.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't. He's doing him. And
you
he's
just
doing
clarified your path.
Exactly. Yes. So I'm just closer to where I'm supposed to be, and it wasn't
and
fair.
Fuck that other motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, question number 3, not related to that job. Thankfully, is like, we're on, I don't know, wherever we are with this pandemic. It's been a time. How are you? How have you been? It's just a general kind of check-in.
That's I'm in a huge change in my life right now. I think the pandemic just made me kind of really hone in as to what's not working in my life, what's not bringing me joy, what's not, it really gave me the opportunity to kind of look like within. So my life keeps changing drastically, even from week to week, because I'm starting to recognize all the stuff that's just not working for me, or just is not going well. So overall, I think I'm doing better and better, but also that comes with like, a cycle of.
You got to tell people that that you want to be done with them, for instance.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like leaving friendships or anything like
but
that.
You just like stop responding to people. Or,
no, that's not what I mean.
I do that. But,
I think I'm just. It's like I think we're all going through it. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't having like a hard time. A lot of the time I am, and like there'll be days I'll go through it, and there'll be days that I'm fine. But like what I'm really recognizing is like, okay, let's do something about what's hard. Not just like.
Instead of living with it, I think that has been a pre-pandemic theme that both Nick and I have talked about. Is like pre-pandemic, it was like, oh, I hate this, but this is the way it is.
Yes,
that's just it. Whereas now it's like, what if I didn't do that?
Yes,
What if it wasn't just like that? What if it was different?
Exactly. So I'm really, and it's hard. I think change is actually one of the hardest things you can do because it's so scary. So it's like you have to actually kind of look at what's not working, and you have to actually make an honest attempt to change it, which means you have to face it, which means you have to kind of face some fears and some uncomfortable.
And you have to try a new thing that may also not work.
Yep, exactly. And then and you don't know what that's going to lead to. So it's, but I would say that it's good overall.
For people who are just listening, the face that came after good overall was like eyes to the left, face to the right, but ultimately convinced, I think.
Yes, I am. I'm a better person from where I was at. That's I think without a doubt. So we'll go with that.
That's a perfect thing to go with. Well, thank you so much, Jodi, for joining us. Like, where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Oh my. I think I'm everywhere everyone else is.
That's probably true.
Yeah. I am not on TikTok though, because I haven't done it yet, but
that's all right.
Yeah, but I'm Instagram, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know if I ever really use it, but I'm on it. I have
we'll put your Instagram link in the show notes.
Yeah. I'm mostly on Instagram. Instagram's that's my favorite.
What's the handle?
It's my name, Jodi Lynn Thomas.
Jodi Lynn Thomas.
Jodi Lynn Thomas. JodiLynnThomas.
Double in, folks.
Okay, I know we're ending, but can I ask you guys a question while we're on here?
Yeah, sure.
It's a dumb question.
Okay.
But when
now
people don't, now I don't want to. Now this.
No, it's a dumb question. We don't care about it.
It's really dumb.
We're throwing it away.
When I clarify my name is Jodi, I say, if people don't hear me correctly, I say like Jodie Foster. But then I always get like a blank like stare, like why did you say that?
Why did you say Jodie Foster's name?
Yeah.
You mean because it's spelled Jodi? I
don't know. I'm just asking you, should I stop doing that? Basically? I think I answered my own question.
You've already got the feedback.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think what do you think?
What are you trying to get out of them?
Look like what's the blank stare?
You trying to get them to watch Contact?
Yeah, that's it. I just want you to watch Contact. Really,
it's really good, guys.
Silence of the Lambs, amazing. I don't know. I just thought it was like a really well-known Jodi reference, so I was like,
so you're aging yourself is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. You talk to younger
that's what
people.
I think. Hey, I do a bit on stage about a young girl I worked with that told me that Green Day was a classic rock band, and it felt like she punched me in the dick hella hard. So
And sometimes, like, you know, a lot of times that joke goes over well, but I've also seen it like at Mike's where the people are younger, where they're like, yeah, that's a classic band. You know?
Got it.
It's like, oh yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
So it's just like, Jodi Foster hasn't been around exactly. She's not on TikTok either. Put it that way.
That's true. Good point. All right.
I don't have any other famous Jodis. I would just say Jodi. You know, Jodi with an I. You know, I feel like you got your bases covered.
Just
like,
keep
really
saying
covered.
it until they get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I'm trying to think of other movies that Jodi Foster was in. Was she in
Silence of the Lambs,
Flight Plan?
Contact. What?
What's up?
Flight Plan?
Flight Plan. Yeah.
Wasn't
Again,
that
these are
one?
all like 90s.
Yeah,
hits,
they're
you
all
know?
90s movies. You're not wrong.
I don't know what she's been up to in the last 10
Just hanging,
years.
hanging.
She's
I hope she's
directing.
hanging.
She's
And
directing.
I'm sure she's doing
Yeah,
a great
Chase,
job.
shut up.
Yeah, she's been directing.
I'm sure she's
I
doing a
know.
great job.
I'm a fan, obviously, and that's the only like famous Jodi I can think of. So
Yeah.
that's why I go there.
Can you Google famous Jodis? real quick,
Famous
Chase?
Jodis.
Yeah,
Famous
yeah,
Jodis.
I hope
Jodie
I come
Foster
up.
came up. That's for darn sure.
Jodi Lynn Thomas. So fuck this place fame.
Oh,
What?
Jodi Lynn O'Keefe.
The author Jodi Picoult. Is that a thing?
I don't know who that is. Straight up, I don't
I've
know.
seen
That's a
it.
swing and a
I've
miss.
seen the
Man,
name.
I'm not noticing any of these names.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, I mean Jody Gordon, who the fuck is Jody Ann Patterson? It just sounds like a church, you know. I'm just looking at the church. Jody Shelton, Jody Phyllis,
These all sound like old country singers, like Patsy Cline.
yeah. Jody
Jodi
Willis
Lynn.
Roberts.
Jody Willis Roberts
like
and
she
her
opened
hit
for
"Down
Reba.
at the Bayou."
So you know,
All right, well,
I think Jody with an I is fine, or just Jody. You know, I think people.
just say
I'm
the
Jody.
name
Yeah,
without the reference.
And
No
then
reference.
they'll
yeah,
repeat it if they
that's
need it.
enough. That's enough. Your name is enough. You don't need
Yeah,
some
you're
sort
enough,
of a reference. Mhm.
And you're enough if you're listening to this podcast. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. You know, it's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, you know. Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this.